looking here now at the next section. I'm going to demonstrate this for you. This one is going to take maybe a little bit more work. It's less pattern heavy. Like it's not these repeatable patterns that we have in the first section. But we'll just take it slow. We'll take it bit by bit. So let me just demonstrate it first. And then you would go back to the part that we learned the last time. Okay, so let's look at the right hand here first. The very first chord that we have here, it's saying it's an F minor, but what we're actually going to do, because we'll add a D flat to it, this is actually a D flat major 7 here. Okay, we'll add the left hand though in just a little bit. So you can just think of it this way. So your thumb is on F. If you look at an F chord like this, just simply move the middle finger there to the A flat, okay? If you have bigger hands and you would like to try adding in that D flat there, this sounds really great. It sounds very good. But because the left hand will be playing a D flat anyway, you'll be able to get away just with playing this 3-note chord here in the right hand. So again, it's up to you how you choose to do that. I'm going to show it here in this little bit simpler way. So what happens here, you'll notice the C stays the same. It's just the F and the A flat, they both go up. Practice going back and forth between these two chords. You can even use fingers 2 and 4 on that F sharp B flat. Technically, it's actually a G flat in this song. And there's your melody right away built in. Pinky, start with 5, 3, 3, 5, chord number 2. Okay, so that is how that progression goes there. Let's add in the left hand. So in the left hand, we have the option of just simply playing a single D flat, a single bass note. If you would like to add in the 7th, in the case of D flat, that is a C natural. Sounds great. Still sounds good even without the C. I'll show you without the C. It's beautiful. Just play the G flat there with your middle finger. Again, it is showing an F sharp major, but we're going to call it a G flat here, so because we are working with flats. Okay, so D flat, G flat. You're just going back and forth between these two. Pause the video, practice going back and forth between chord number 1 and chord number 2. Spend 5 minutes on that if you need to. Okay, after this one, that is going to resolve this very, very dissonant sounding chord is going to resolve into this. Sounds very, very beautiful. Again, I'm going to show you the right hand first and then the left hand. So this is where you end it. You simply move up here, or hang on, let me just check that. Yeah, that's exactly right. So that G flat goes back down there to the F. Keep the rest the same. All right. Now, the melody is here. It's going to be C, A, A. So just play the B flat and the F together with the melody. Now, once you play that A there the second time, we actually have to switch the left hand there, and it's going to become a C chord. And so in the right hand, we are just going to play this. You'll notice the C is just missing. This would be our C chord here. So we just have an A, this would be the 6th. We have that added here to our C major chord. Okay, I'll show you that one more time. So this is chord number 3, I guess, if you've been counting from the beginning. And we're just going to go down to the G and then change it here to our C major, add the 6. Okay, and the left hand for that part, there the left hand moves up to the G. So far we've had a D flat, we've had a G flat, and now we're going to move up here to the G. Okay, and switch to C. Do you see that, how we've got it when the left hand plays that C on top, you actually have that C there. Now, even if the left hand didn't play the C on top and you simply played the bass with your fifth finger, it would still be a C. It doesn't matter if you have one or two. In fact, again, if you want this to sound just a little bit more jazzy, make the left hand a seventh chord by playing B flat. Now that is a step up. If that is the whole idea of seventh chords is new to you, you're unfamiliar, stick just with the bass notes. But if you're a little bit further along and you want to add that seventh chord, it sounds really, really good to add that seventh in there. So I'll show you that together one more time. So these are the next two steps to practice on their own. Or, like I say, leave out B flat. It sounds also very good. You can also add in the octave there. That's a little easier to do than always calculating the seventh there at the top. So if your hands are big enough, it tends to sound a little bit fuller when you can play the full octave. So putting together everything we have so far, so I would say practice those two chords right there. But then when you come back in, let's just look at the four we've learned so far. We started on D flat. Oh, there we go. That's right. We had said D flat is optional for those whose hands are big enough. Again, here, if you want to add in the seventh, that would be the C in this case. Remember, just move 2 and 4 up there, move to the G flat. We're going to repeat that. And there we go. From here, slide up to the G in the left hand. You're going to be ready there. And here we're going to slide down to the F. Okay, so the only change has been that these two bottom blacks are going to change there to the G and the F respectively. Come on down to the A. Be ready to change now. Add in the E and the G here and the C. And if you want, add that seventh. All right, so those would be the 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there, we're just going to slide to a D. How is this a D? There we go. Here's our D major. We add in the C. You can leave out the D at the bottom too. That's fine because the left hand is playing it. Okay, so the simplest way to play this D chord here would be to just play the F sharp, A, and C. Okay, and because previously you were right there on the E, G, and A, so what you need to do there is hang on to the A, add the C with your pinky, and the F sharp with finger number 2. Again, here I would say just stop and try that a few times, going from this previous chord here, this C major, add the 6, to this D7. It's saying F sharp diminished because it doesn't know that I'm actually going to be adding this in with my left hand. You can see that chords often have more than one identity, more than one name. It's like having a first name and a middle name. There's more than one way to identify who we are based on the different names that we have, and chords are the same way. Okay, so here we go. Let's just pick it up right there from that C major, add the 6. Okay, so in the left hand, you can see how we've gone from a C up to a D. If you're using simply one bass note, play it with your finger 5 and your finger 4. But if you want to add in the 7th, then add the thumb to the C, which is the 7th is B flat, and for the D, just kind of hold that hand shape and just tilt it around so that you're playing there on the C. All right, so putting that together one more time. There we go, and now we're going to go up to the D. So these would be the next 2 chords. Stop there, go back and forth between this one and this one. When you've got that, come on back in. Let's string them all together. What do we have so far? We've got our D flat in the left hand, in the right hand, it just looks like an F minor chord. And then back to that D flat and to the G flat. Okay, now remember here, the left hand comes up to the G and the right hand just slides down to the F. Play that A by itself. Now, using the A to make the next C chord, there we are. Add in the 7th if you'd like. Great. From here, the next event, if you remember, was to go up here to the D7, just a single note D if you'd like, and here we play this inverted D7 chord. And the melody right there, you can hear that. It's top, middle, middle. Okay? Now, we're almost there. This is, like I said, there are many different chords here. You just have to work through them one by one. I would say even in pairs. So here we go. This is the next one. We have a G minor 7 here. So you can see where we were previously. Let me just actually think this thing through here. All right, here. So we came from this D7 here. We're going to come on down. This is similar to what we played at the beginning, except there we had the A, okay? So now we've got the F and the G played together here. That's important that they both play. And then we've got the melody right there. That's the B flat. We're going to pair that with a G in the left hand, all right? I would say at this point, just play a single note G. That's going to be the simplest. If you were to play the 7th, it would be the F, but it's already being taken by the right hand, so don't worry about that. The melody is top, middle, middle. Very often the chord is built in such a way that it's the top and the middle, in this case, F being the bottom, G being the middle, and B flat being the top. There's the melody. Go up to the A and then land on that exact same C7 chord that we had just previously. So the two new chords here are now G minor 7, and then come on down from there, keep the G, and just bring these outside two notes down. You can see that, okay? From F, B flat to E, A. And then in the left hand, you have to switch that to a C because this is now a C major 6 again. So I'll show you that one more time. G7, minor, down to the C. Now, if all of these chord names, you don't have to remember them. If chords are new to you, don't worry about it. Just copy what I'm doing, all right? So just to put that, string that all together one time so you have all of these pairs of chords. The first one was a D flat, and the 7th was the C. Ready for the B flat, G flat. Just bring the bottom two notes up in the right hand. Bottom two notes come up to the F sharp, G flat, B flat. From there, we moved up to G, and we are going to move down to the F here. Ready to play the A by itself? Keep the A, now just switch down to E and G here, and the left hand switches to a C primarily, 7th if you want to add it. There it is. And we're going to go up here to the C to make our D7 chord. Recall in the right hand, that was F sharp, A, and C. Top, middle, middle for the melody. And then up we come to the B flat, switch to the F and the G, and in the left hand, we switch to the G. Top, middle, middle again for the melody. Up to the A, and now finish off with that C. It's saying C13, which is actually true. That is a 13 chord. In the left hand, we have a 7th here, and then a smattering of notes, including the 13th. Okay, so I'll play that once smoothly without talking. Then you go back into the beginning, and I'll just play that out. Remember B minor here. And that is the end of Christmas Time is Here.